BTC gives me a window of optionality in case we just go crazy, like nut case crazy. I want to get back to the ETF though, because there's nothing I can do about politics unless I'm willing to go into it. Let's talk about the seeding. I don't know how much you know about the seeding. I don't want to put you in a bind if you don't, but I don't know very many people that explain to me how this ETF gets seeded. Does it get bought from a large player or does it get bought in the market?
Yeah, so this is called a create. I can explain it to you because
it's called the create.
Yeah, it's called the create. So here's what
this is the kind of stuff that's great for the audience, right?
Yeah,
really
so let me explain it to you. Yeah. Gary wants to buy the ETF. He files to purchase the CUSIP number. The person that is running the ETF now has to go into the marketplace and create ETF for Gary. Okay, and so the person does is they go into the marketplace and they buy Bitcoin. And they put it in the ETF.
In this case, it would be BlackRock.
In this case, it would be BlackRock. And so if you bought the SkyBridge, our symbol is CRYPT, CRPT. There's 30 stocks in that.
CRPT.
PT. So it's CRYPT, CRPT. And it's the SkyBridge Digital Innovation Fund. Okay, it's owned by us and First Trust, and it's a crypto. We call them, it's a long, but it's First Trust SkyBridge Crypto Industry and Digital Economy ETF. So you go to buy that today, you give me $1 million. We then go into the marketplace and we buy pro-rationally that amount proportionately of what $1 million represents in that portfolio, and then we stick it in the Depository Trust Corporation under that CUSIP number, and then we put those shares into your fund. Now, when you want to sell it, you go to sell it. It comes back through them into us. We give you the price that you sold it at, and we sell those shares. That's called an unwind. So you have a create and an unwind, depending on the assets that are going in and out of the ETF. And that's done through the great software that we have today. This is stuff that you and I could not have done in 1987 when we joined the business.
So liquidity and the seeding, right? I've been trading markets my whole life. And in fact, I've been in control. You know that the truth is there's a very small number of people that really control markets, right? There's always those 4 or 5 guys that are really, they're the experts, and mine happen to be nat gas. You know, I showed up in England, the markets opened up, right? I know people don't really understand that's what really happens, but there's always that guy he's the man, right? He sets the market off. With the seeding, clearly that's going to put someone in a really good position, but for me, sitting on the sidelines as an investor of BTC, and I tend to buy a lot often, all through the period, because I'm not doing it for a 2-year window, right? I'm doing it to give my kids. When do I get worried about, or when will I be able to see on the blockchain that the seeding has occurred? I mean, how much would a BlackRock have to buy? Because you don't know what the demand is today, right? I'm worrying about somebody wants to buy 1 million units of this stuff. This market's going to freak out, man.
Well, okay, but remember something. So let me just see if I can explain this to you.
Can I just add one other piece?
Yeah, go ahead.
Especially when most people don't ever sell the product. There's no liquidity. It's the most liquid asset in the world, but there's no liquidity, man.
Well, that's the point.
Not at today's price.
So let's say you have 1 million Bitcoin
I think that's what they need to buy, dude. Yeah. I think at least $1 million, right? I mean, 1 million units.
Yeah. So let's say that there's 1 million Bitcoin to buy. They have to go into the marketplace to buy the Bitcoin. It's going to push it up. But here's the thing. You're going to buy the ETF. You may have a market price. I'm going to buy the ETF at 31,000. I'm going to buy the ETF at 33. Here's an at the market price for the ETF. You know, or I want the VWAP price, you know, the weighted average price for the day.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? And it's a liquid enough market where people will provide that for you.
You think so, huh?
I do. I do.
mean-
It's going to push the price up.
Just Monday.
So this will be a $50,000 coin if that thing gets accepted for those reasons.
Oh, I agree, man. I mean, what makes me nervous though, Anthony, is that last Monday, 2 Mondays ago, we have the fake news thing rocks $2,500, goes from 28 to 31 or so. It pulls back, and then before any news, it goes back above that fake level, which was like, that was one of the coolest indicators I've ever seen. Didn't cost me a dime.
That's just letting people know that we're in there, Gary.
Oh my God. So, and then the second thing is though, that it went up 15.6% in one day, like this past Monday. And I'm seeing stuff on Twitter talking about gamma squeezes and bankruptcies. That scares me, man.
Right.
It's not even funny. It's like, whoa, this is your first day, dude.
Oh, we both have been there, man. We both have been there. I got a hop because I got somebody waiting for me at this.
Yeah. Okay. So apologies. So
that's okay.
Where do you think the ETF gets approved sometime in January?
Between now and January 10th. But the BlackRock people I spoke to believe it's the first or second week of December.
1 year from now.
Yep.
Okay. Where are we going to be at, you think? You think that right now Bitcoin's a $600 billion industry?
It's going to be at least 1.2 trillion. So I think a year from now, it's 70,000.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm putting 57,000. My number's 57,000 for the year.
Well, I mean, let me tell you, look at the upside opportunity for all of us. So we got to just stay patient, man.
I think you're actually being conservative just because it's been a long ride.
People yell at me when I tell. I said it's going to be 300,000. People yell at me. I'm a dummy and blah blah.
Yeah.
Here I got something for you. I'm sending you one of these. Can you see this? So this is the cover of the New York Post.
That's awesome.
That's me sinking in a boat, the SS Mooch. So the New York Post said that I'm a dummy. I own Bitcoin and I'm going to sink with the Bitcoin. So I had T-shirts made once it broke through the 30,000 level.
Please send me one.
So I got one of these for you. Just text me your address. I'm going to pop it in the mail.
Will do, man. Hey, thank you so much. Okay. Have a great weekend.
All right. God bless, man.
Ciao.